Kristen and welcome back. I am going to call this video my wrap up and catch up. So the last video you saw from me was the choose your own adventure fantasy characters tag. That was a couple of weeks ago, but other than that, for the past 2 months, I have been absent, and not that I owe an explanation, I just thought I would give one. So in December, I was gearing up to partake in the Shelf Space Reindeer Games readathon. I had my 12 choices picked, not that I thought I was going to read 12 books, and I thought I was doing really well. It was the middle of the second week of December, and I had kind of decided that I was going to take a break from making videos for the next 2 weeks, so those middle 2 weeks of December, just because I was gearing up for my son's 4th birthday, and then the week after that was Christmas. I wanted to be present in my life, and I was giving myself the grace to do that. The universe had different plans for me, because not long after I had made that decision, it was like December 9th or something, I got sick. And it started with kind of like a headache, a really low-grade fever, and some body aches. After 3 days of that, 3 or 4 days, I went to get tested for COVID. That came back negative, but I went down really hard after that. Like, I couldn't, like, those first 4 days, I was still functioning, I was still working. But after that, I might as well have been dead to the world. I had a super bad fever, I was coughing, I had a migraine for like 3 weeks and it wouldn't go away. I had no concentration. I couldn't read. I couldn't listen to audiobooks. I couldn't even watch TV comfortably. And so I just sat in my misery. My husband was sleeping in the kids' room with them, just in the off case that it was a false negative for COVID. You know, there wasn't any contamination that way. Yeah, it was really rough. It was, I felt like I was gonna die. Coming off of that, I feel a lot better. Like, my cough is gone, which is great. I do feel a little bit more brain fog for the past month or so. It was really bad in the beginning of January, but it's starting to lift and I'm starting to feel better, like, with my mental clarity. But other than that, you know, I am pretty healthy now. I am feeling good. I'm recovered. I'm convinced that I had COVID, even though the test was negative. But yeah, whatever. We're happy, we're healthy, and we're back. And so now for the wrap up part of this video, I'm going to wrap up December and January because those are the 2 months that I'm missing currently. So in December, I read 5 books, which is still pretty good considering that I was a zombie for most of December. The first book was A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is the 3rd book in the ACOTAR series by Sarah J. Maas. It was a reread for me. I still liked it just as much as the first time I read it. The second book I read was Mossflower by Brian Jacques. This is a book in the Redwall series, and it follows woodland creatures who are warriors. And honestly, I really liked the villain in this book. She was horrible, but I liked her. Sarmina. Yeah, I liked her. My next read was Love Creekwood by Becky Albertalli. This is a novella just of email exchanges between Simon. I don't remember his boyfriend's name. Just all the Love, Simon universe people. Leah, I don't remember her girlfriend's, but god damn it. Yeah, see, brain fog. Yeah, so this is just email exchanges between the kids in Creekwood. And it was a super fast read. I read it in like an hour. It's like this. It's like 100 pages. I don't know. The next book I read was Well Met by Jen DeLuca, and this is a romance centered around a Renaissance fair. And I love Renaissance fairs, so I was super sold on it. That's why I picked it up. It is a hate to love romance, which I thought was really well done. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Next, I read, I actually started reading it in November and I finished it in December, was The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong, and I love this book. I say that about all the books I read, but that is because I am starting to know what I like, and so there's very small room for error there. Once you know what you like, you're gonna go after it. Is a really good Asian-inspired fantasy, and the main character is just such a good female mother main character, and we love to see it. I'm a mom who likes fantasy, and I like that rep in there. Yeah. Moving on to January, I read 7 books, which I'm actually really surprised by because, again, I was still really trying to come out of that brain fog from being sick. The first book I read was Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. I am attempting to read one Cosmere book a month for the entire year of 2021. I am doing this in conjunction with the Cosmere Conquest, which was organized by Benedict. There's a Discord. I don't think that he is making booktube videos anymore, but there is a Discord, and yeah, it's keeping me motivated. So Elantris, I was actually really surprised by how much I enjoyed Elantris, especially considering that the most hated character in the Discord turned out to be one of my favorite characters, Serene. Yeah, there was so much Serene hate in the Discord chat, and as I read more of her, I really enjoyed her. Next in January, I read With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. This follows a teenage mother who enjoys cooking, and she is working to graduate. So there's a culinary program elective run at the school she goes to, and it includes a trip to Spain, and she's like really just learning and enjoying her life. Yeah. So I wasn't good at talking about books before, and after the sickness, I should just probably give up. But yeah, it was a really good story. I really enjoyed it. There was a handful of quotes that really stuck out to me. I marked them. I actually had the physical book for this, and so I tabbed them. That's downstairs. I'm not gonna go get it to share, but it was definitely good, and I didn't like an immersion read where I listened to the audiobook and read the physical book along with it, and Acevedo's narration is just so good, and it really helps pull you farther into that story. Do with that what you will. So next is a book that I started in December, gave up on, and then finished in January, and that was House of Earth and Blood, which is a Crescent City book by Sarah J. Maas. I kind of feel bad that I put off reading this for so long because it was, again, something that I really enjoyed. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to the next book in that series. Next up is City of Stairs by Robert Jackson Bennett. This was the Shelf Space Book Club for January, and it was a slow start for me. But boy, it really picked up and it really drew me in. I didn't think that I was going to enjoy it. No way, no ma'am, no sir. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. I stuck through it because it was the book club pick, and I want to be more active in the book clubs that I pretend that I am in. But yeah, it was super good. I liked the mythology in it and the action, actually. The language wasn't so much, but I was able to get past that. Yeah, it was good. The next 2 books I read were Dumplin and Pudding by Julie Murphy. Dumplin is about an overweight girl in Texas, I believe it's in Texas, who enters a beauty pageant, and her mom is like one of the old beauty queens, and you know, it's It's a story of self-discovery and romance in one. It was okay. I don't know. I think I just read it because I wanted to watch the Netflix adaptation of it. And I mean, whatever. I'll take it or leave it. And the same goes for Pudding, which is like a side story that follows not the main character in Dumpling. I don't even remember the main character in Dumpling. But Pudding follows Millie, who is also a plus size lady, kind of cultivate a friendship with one of the popular kids who kind of got kicked out of the popular group. I don't know. It was a typical teenage read. There's not a lot that there's no words because there just isn't. Not in a good way. It was mediocre at best. Sorry. The next and last book I read in January was The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I had no expectations coming into this. I have seen Madeline Miller across BookTube, across Bookstagram. It's just never really like enticed me to read it, but it was the book club pick for the Top Shelf Society, and I'm really glad that I picked it up because I really enjoyed it. Actually, it had its bad things, but what book doesn't? This follows Achilles and Patroclus and their romance in the war for Troy, essentially. It wasn't so much like the story that I enjoyed. I mean, it's a love story. I'm here for it. But I was really surprised that I liked Miller's writing style. Yeah, because it's something that is not really in my wheelhouse. And I'm glad that I have it on my radar now because I am super stoked to pick up Circe eventually. Yeah, so that is where I've been and what I've been reading. I'm really hoping to get completely over this brain fog because it is just wrecking my entire way right now. Like I can't, I'm not functioning at my normal capacity and it's really bothering me. That's it from me for today. Let me know in the comments what you have been reading, what you've been liking, what you've been disliking, or just leave a wine glass. I am always happy to know that you've stopped by. If you like this video and want to see more of me and my bookish nonsense, I would love if you would consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.